Well, hello. Happy Thursday. Here I am. Uh, as usual, unexpected because I never know what my schedule is going to be like in a day with things going on in my life, especially this week. Hope you can hear me. Um, because this week's been crazy for me and good and exciting, and with the debate, but just crazy in my life, as you know. So, and I look a bit worse for wear, but whatever. I just have to ignore it. Okay, so let's talk here. I'll just get this out of the way first. So I'm tired. Um, the debate was Tuesday, right? Tuesday. I can't believe it's Thursday already. And so I was watching the debate, like all of you, excited, been talking about it, reading about it, talking about, thinking about it, predicting it, and it was on, and it probably had watched about 45 minutes of it. And it's now it seems like I had only watched 15, but because everything happens so fast. But then my son came in and he had woken up from a nap. He was in his room and he came out of a nap. And I guess he'd had a nightmare. And he said, "Oh, hi. Hi, Carl." And hi, Amy. Hello, hello. And hello. Glad to see you guys here. Happy Thursday. Um, yeah, so my son, I hope everything's well with everybody. I hate to be a downer. I'm to get this out of the way that we'll talk about the debate and hopefully that'll raise some energy here. So took my son. Well, my son woke up from a nap. Okay, he's a teenager. He took a nap in his room. He'd been playing on his video game thing and had been at school all day. And he said, "I'm worried that I'm having a heart attack at 3 a.m." Oh my goodness! I'll put that on the screen. 3 a.m. Yikes! I do that. I wake up at three. That's a spiritual number, by the way, to wake up at 3 a.m. all the time. That's usually when you're attuned with the universe. I don't know why that. I have to read about why that is. Something about it's a universal hour of spirit to be like awake before the dawn, I guess. Well, anyway, so my son comes in. He's 17, and he says, "I feel like I'm having a heart attack, and my chest hurts, and it feels tight, and I have chills." And that really alarmed me, obviously. As a mother, you want to say, "Oh, you're only 17." Um, and I thought, well, panic attacks run, and his dad has panic attacks, my ex. But, it runs in the family. My daughter, I watch her have near panic attacks from caffeine. So I'm always like, watch out with the caffeine, watch out with the caffeine. So I thought, did he have caffeine? No, I didn't buy any caffeinated soda. And he hasn't had tea or coffee. He's not one of those people that drinks coffee. But he did have chocolate. He had chocolate ice cream. Well, anyway, I was like, well, let's just see how you're doing. And so I kind of side eye the debate, watching it, but then worrying about my son. And he tells me that he's worried. He's worried. So I'm like, okay, screw the debate. Obviously, the debate doesn't matter. So we get in the car and we drive to the ER. And by the time we got there, it's funny, they had the debate on in the waiting room, but I really couldn't concentrate on it. We had people around us coughing. So, of course, the fear of the virus and all that. We had our masks on. But, the ER, they did an EKG on him and said, oh, the doctor will look at the results and get back with you. Well, it was like 12:30 in the morning, 12:30 a.m. when they finally brought us back to a room in the ER. And they must have seen something because they strapped him up. My panic attack's only on live chat, trying to get a reading. It's a random calling. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is nerve wracking. I know. Well, anyway, so they did another EKG reading, strapped him up to the whole machine, put an IV in him, made him get in the gown and all that stuff. And what else? Oh, they took a blood sample. They did an X-ray. And you have to understand, the last time I was in that ER, and I maybe in that specific room, my mother had gone in because she thought she had pneumonia. So I took her in, and hours later, they come in after an X-ray, and they said that she had stage 4 cancer, and she was dying, and she did indeed die within a month. So I wasn't feeling too good as a mother, sitting there worrying, and then doctor came in, all this stuff happened, and then strapped up to, oh gosh, congenital heart defect. So yeah, that worries me. That worries me, Amy. I'm sorry to hear that you've gone through that. My friend growing up, my friend Renee, she had a heart, can't remember what it was. It was a birth defect. She was born with it. And they literally, at the age of, I believe she was 20 at the time, did open heart surgery. And that, my son, all of this it's funny, like today now, I'm having these waves of, I can't believe it happened. I can't believe that this happened. So I have to check up with this doctor. Well, long story short, 2 a.m., we finally get out of there, but they said check up with the doctor. He looks okay, but there is a slight irregularity in his heart rate. So I think emotionally I'm just like tapped at this point. And then last night he said, Mom, I don't feel good. My friend Peyton was sick last week. I worry that I have COVID. I was like, oh my God, no. Um, you can only deal with one thing at a time. Call school today and they have free COVID tests. I tested them. It's showing negative. So I'm hoping that means that he doesn't have it. Although I think a lot of people that are sick right now have COVID, and when you test negative, it's actually just not very strong. So I'm hoping that we're on top of it. I do believe you can stay on top of, you can do all that stuff. So I'm pretty tapped out. I'm pretty blah. And it's like waves of anxiety. And as a mother, just like that sadness of what if it had been worse, and memories of my mother, because I kind of have blocked out a lot of that with my mother and not wanting to think about that time. And it brought all of that back. So yeah, I'm kind of emotionally this week, tapped out, overwhelmed. The debate though has brought me a lot of distraction because I rewatched it last night. I actually think I saw the best part of the debate before all this happened, because in the first 45 minutes, that's when Kamala got out the thing, got him to say they're eating cats and dogs in Ohio. Here, let me see this. Oh my, I had a reading a few hours ago and we're talking about the guides touching my heart. So I asked if am I going to die from a heart attack, but they said no, good. Yeah, I don't feel like you're having a heart issue. And now we're talking about heart problem. It's just something to stay on top of. It really is. And it could, ascension symptoms, not to downplay anything, you got to check with your doctor. I'm not a doctor. This is for entertainment purpose only. But ascension symptoms can trigger your heart. They can make you have heart palpitations. So that's something to think about too. Take care of your heart. Yeah. And Amy, you're on the waiting list for an apartment. Oh, that's good. And I'm really praying and hoping I get it before my mom gets put in a home. I hope so, Amy. I'll say a prayer for you. We'll say one right now. We pray for the most benevolent outcome, that Amy, Warrior Princess, Amy, will get approved for this apartment and get in fast, and that it's an easy move and no drama. And that she's approved. Please, God and angels, Archangel Michael in particular, God, Mother Mary, Jesus, the guides, angels, divine source, Archangel Michael. Saint Jude is supposed to be someone that helps with moving, I believe. Saint Francis, Saint Anthony, guides and angels for higher guides, higher self. We pray for the most benevolent outcome to be with Amy, to get this apartment seamless, easy, help moving, no drama, and that the rent is affordable and is long-standing, and she's happy there. Bless this situation with Amy, with her apartment. So mote it be, amen. Thy will be done. And it was published in the Holy Spirit, amen. And I pray for Carl, too, to get that his heart is okay. Healthy, strong and healthy. Yeah, with my son, I feel like, praying for both of you and Amy. I feel like this is going to be really healthy for you, because I feel like in your other situation, there was a lot of emotions and people were really putting things on you. And now you're going to feel a lot freer, although it's scary. I know it's scary. You're welcome, Carl. You're welcome. That's why I felt like I should come on today. And I'm glad that I did, because I don't just like to come on here and just, I certainly don't like to come on and be on camera. So when I come on, it's really, I feel like I want to be of service, or I want to share things, So I'm really glad that I was able to do this. But yeah, Amy, I feel like a lot of people have put things on you and your family, and now you get to have some freedom, and that's really going to open up a lot for you, a lot of freedom. And you get to really shine, and you won't have to feel like this is the feeling I get. You felt like you were sectioned off, and you were hiding, and they kind of kept you in like um, the child, like they always kind of kept you in a child way, and didn't consider you as a human being, as an adult, as a person with your own needs. And you really get to now be your true self. And, you know, life's not easy. It's hard being alone. As a single mom, I can tell you it's hard. It's hard, but things are getting better. I really feel like we're heralding in this new era. And that's part of your move, is part of that new era of things changing and getting better. Yeah, I hope so too. And I know it's hard to lose your mom. It's a really, really difficult experience, but maybe in some way she's holding on to help you too, to get you from this, because it's like your safety net, and then help you get to the next. So I pray too, Amy. I really do. Um, yeah, I'll keep saying prayers. And whenever I can think of it, I'll say a prayer for you. And I feel like it'll be okay. I really do. But remember that most benevolent outcome. That really, I don't know why that prayer would work, because I believe in all the prayers. Like I say prayers all the time, but it really does help to say that most benevolent outcome. And yeah, you've got the best intentions, Amy Were. Yes, I believe so too. So yeah, yeah, they do. Yeah, and it's funny. Maybe it's Amy's because I'm the baby of the family, and even though I'm a grown adult, I still get a lot of that. Uh, I kind of like being the baby, but the youngest or whatever. I think we get away with a lot, right? But I certainly don't like when they minimalize us and make us feel like we're children. I don't like that. Hello, Ellen. Nice to see you here. So I'm here. I can answer a few questions, and I was going to talk about the debate. So I'll talk about the what I got right, and or my guides, what my guides got right. And I don't always read cards, but when I read cards the other day, because I did one the day before, and then I did one the day of. And when I did the one the day of, right before the debate, I pulled cards, and my gosh, those cards were so accurate. They showed 45 with like the moon. He would have moments where he was just out of control, like a lunatic, and very emotional, yelling. I remember a guy, he would like yell, and that she would just stand there and be like, "You done? Are you done?" And she did that. He never got down to calling her nasty or anything like that, but he did insinuate when he said she puts out. Was he threw that? He knew what he was saying when he said that, by the way, about the whole black thing, and then he had to put in all that. Um, he's so rude. He's just, but she, okay, before all this stuff happened to me with the whole, yeah, you hate being the baby. Okay. Some people hate it, some people love it. I think I like it because I don't know, it just fits me to be the youngest. And I suppose it let me get away with a lot and be sort of invisible, but the invisibility was hard too. That was really hard. But, um, Pence, I hope that that's true about Pence. I really do. That is coming up. It really is. I just saw September 18th, so we're not too far away from that. Something might happen on September 18th. Um, October surprise. We know the 45 is going to try something. But yeah, the cards. What was it? Oh, when Kamala walked out, and you could see it at first. It was like, oh, it was like two magnets repelling each other, and he kind of like did this thing, and she just went right over and shook his hand and said, "Hi, I'm Kamala Harris." And I thought, there you go. There you go. That's exactly what it was. Cathartic. It was like, this is what I needed to see. And I know everybody needed to see that. She is in control. She showed she's not afraid. She's in charge. And in the way, like she was the first one to speak, because I guess she won the coin toss to speak first. She went right for it. She said, I'm the only person on the stage who grew up as a middle class child with a single mother and didn't receive $500 million or whatever from my father, whatever. She really owned it. She was not afraid of him. Now, maybe she was nervous, but she was not afraid. Yeah, that was a boss move. It really was. It was great. Um, yeah, she was in control. And then the way she said things like tired, old, and before you feel bad for 45, her saying he's old, she insinuated he's old many times. Remember, he's the one that went around and called uh, Biden old and senile. He's been doing it for a couple of years now, saying he's crazy, he's old, blah, 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 beating him like he's a dog. And you don't beat dogs, but that's how he treated Biden. So he deserved it. 45 deserved that treatment. And she didn't name call him too directly. She did it in a very sort of, sidelining way, but he deserved it. I know what you're not doing the bit. Can you ask my dad, Jerry, and Grandpa Claire about my apartment and if it's going to be soon this year? Okay. And you didn't get away with anything? I feel like I did, however, here's the problem in my life, Amy. My older sister, we had to share a room, and she was wild. She was the middle child. She was the wild child. And she would get on the phone and talk to boys in the middle of the night and sneak out and lie to my mom. And I was the one who suffered for that because I would get the wrath of my mother's frustration and anger over my sister. And then my mother would punish me because my sister would already be off doing her own thing. And my mother would take it out on me. In fact, my mother, and I love my mother, but she did and said several things that were very detrimental. So I feel like I got away with certain things, but I didn't get away with my sister. I got punished for my sister's behavior, which wasn't fair, but that's, whatever. There's this movie, one of my favorite authors, Paul Zindel. He wrote a book and it was turned into a movie called The Effect of Gamma Rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds. And Paul Newman directed this film. It had Joanne Woodward, his wife, and their daughter. And it was about the single mother in the 60s or 70s raising two girls, two teenage daughters. The second I saw that movie, it was on TV one night, I was like, oh my God, that's my mother. That's my sister and I. So, and my brother went off to a Catholic all boys school. So really it was my mother and my sister and I. And my mother would do things like read my diary, read my notes, go through my books. It's terrible. I love my mother, but it was tough living with her. So yeah, I didn't get away with everything either. But I was able to hide in a way. Maybe that was, I don't know. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to ask about your dad, Jerry, and Grandpa Claire about your new apartment. So let's see. We are going to, what would be the best cards for that? Best cards for that. I think I'll do these. I can't remember what these are called, but they're Doreen Virtue cards. So let's ask. And I hear a beautiful, you know what, Amy? There's a beautiful cardinal outside my window. I hear it. So there you go. How German sniffing in I know. One time, Carl, I wrote a note to a boy that I liked. My friend and I both liked the same boy in 7th grade. And I wrote him this letter about how much I liked him, but I never gave him that letter. I put it under my bed. Under my bed. His name was Rich. And like Richie Rich. And I put the note under my bed. And darn it, if my mother didn't find it and read it. And not only did she do that, but she confronted me. And it's that type of thing that it stunts your growth as a human being because she wasn't letting me ever experiences. She was stopping me before and shaming me. So anyway, okay, so I got visualize success, mediumship, shield yourself. You are profoundly clairvoyant, Amy. Of course, we know that, don't we? You are profoundly clairvoyant. Shield yourself, mediumship, visualize success. See yourself doing well in this situation and have faith in the positive outcome. And that looks like you. I can't get it to show up. I got to get my face out of here and there. It looks like you, Amy. See, like her blue wings? That would be like Archangel Michael behind you, helping you out. That looks like you. Okay, mediumship. You have the natural ability to connect with departed loved ones, like your Dad, Jerry, and Grandpa Claire. And I want to sit for a moment and try to see if I get other messages. Protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies like your family, your mother, bringing you down. So I'm getting that they want you to block all of that out and only think about, if you can, this apartment. Only think about, we know each other through YouTube, basically. I feel like Amy and I are very similar, though. We have very similar things about us. So, yeah, my mom would snoop too. She's half German. Why do moms do that? See, it stunts your growth, don't you think? Because I know that my mother probably felt like she was saving me from pain, but I don't think it was that. I think she was worried it would shame her. But she had other things too that I won't go. I'm going to write a whole book about this, so I'm not going to go into all of it. But that's what mothers do. I think they put their own things on us, right? Instead of letting us live and experience. So, okay, shield yourself, Amy. Shield yourself, and I think Archangel Michael will help you with this. Shield yourself from your family's judgment and lower-based thoughts that stop you from moving on here. Visualize your success. I want you to picture yourself in that apartment every day. Draw it. Think about what furniture you're going to put in there. Think about yourself in there at Christmas time. I'm right now. I can see it myself. You're in there. You've got a little Christmas tree, and maybe it happens after Christmas, but it's like right around that time in the holidays. And you've got a little Christmas tree, and you got like one that's a little electric fireplaces, and candles, and you're watching TV. Maybe you're watching the New Year's Eve thing from New York on TV, and there's snow outside the window, and you are there. You're in the apartment. You're in the apartment. So you've got the furniture. Yes. So I want you to keep visualize, like every day, visualize it. And I want you to write it down. I want you to make a vision board and like get pictures off the internet, print them off or cut them out of magazines or like, you know how they send newspapers during the week to our mailbox. Get furniture or food and say, this is the food I'm going to have, and cut it out and stick it on, put it on your desk and just visualize what you're going to have in your apartment. And I want you to say it every day. Every day. I'm in my new apartment. I'm already there. I have this apartment. This apartment is mine. I deserve this. Your insurance gives you money to help out. Good. I have over 1,000. Good. Waiting to help you with your rent first. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. It will disappear after December. That's why I have to move. Okay. Yeah. So success. Keep praying. I'm going to remember to pray for you every day. I think it will happen. And I think this is being set up by your guides and your family members. And you know it's urgent. But you're going to get there. Smooth transition. We're helping you. I see the moving furniture. I see the other side. These male figures helping. Aligning, so you get these little nudges. I need to do this. I need to get this ready. I need to call these people, and they're helping you. They're literally like standing there and they're helping push the furniture into the moving truck. So yeah. Anything else? We're there. And I don't know if you have any pets now, but they're saying after you move, it looks like you will have a cat. It's either a dog, maybe a dog and a cat. It may be within the next year or more. You will get settled in. There's like maybe a dog in spirit that wants to be with you. So, yeah, I think that's good. Anything else? Let me see if I got any. Let's look at the messages from your animal spirit guides and see. Oh, and there's a dog on the front. You see? Now, I don't know if you like dogs, Amy. I do. So, I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm picking it up. But, yeah, there's like a dog. You either have a dog or you have a dog in spirit that's ready to be with you. But they're going to wait till you're settled. They're going to wait. You're waiting for Gateway Apartments people to call you. I think they will. I just got yes. So, don't miss that call. Zebra, let go of your fear. See again, let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times, Zebra. There you go. If you want to screenshot that. I know it won't let me do it close up. So annoying. You are safe and protected. Let go of your fear. Isn't that beautiful? I'm so happy for you. Honeybee, let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority. So you're above this with your family. You love cats and dogs. Oh, well, I really see that's going to happen. And it's like they've been waiting for you to get to this point where you can have that, have the place for it to happen. Blue Heron, make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right for you in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. See, that is so true. This fits you perfectly. Maybe you'll see a heron here. So there you go. Let's see what Carl said. Amy Warrior, we both have rent issues. I just fixed that by using the advance payment for a job. Good. So now I'm in this position to fix it, and the weather here is cooperating with me to delay the job. Good. See, there's a way. There's a way. There's always a way. You're holding off from owning a dog till you're settled. Yeah. So what will your dog do with all your kitty cats? I think it's a lie when they say that dogs and cats can't get along. No, yeah. Are they kind of like opposite of each other? Yes. I think dogs and cats have very opposite temperaments. However, I've always made sure that my pets, if they couldn't really like love each other, they at least got along. And I've never had trouble with it. So, yeah. You'll be fine. Cats are your spirit animals. Interesting. You know what's funny? Like I'm a big dog person, and I didn't think I was until I had my first dog when I was right around when I got married. My only marriage, but when I got married, but the thing about cats is there's always been cats in my life. From growing up, we always had cats around. We had stray cats, And now I find I have cats in my life. I'm never going to be without cats in my life. So that's just how it is. They would play with each other like when I had dogs before with my cats. That's good. Losing dogs is real hard. Oh, yes. Yes. I have been through that. And I talk about that to people that pet grief is real grief. It's a real thing. I remember the pain of losing my mother. And I have to tell you that when I lost my dog, Henry, I cried so much. You're welcome, Amy. You're welcome. You're very welcome. But yeah, pet grief is real grief. When I lost my dog, I cried, and I still like if I sit and journal about it, I'll start crying again because I loved my dog so much. Of course, now I have Kiaran, and he's very sweet with me. With Kiaran, I got him after Henry died, and it was months. And I thought I finally got to the point where it's like, well, all I can do is think about having a dog. And I was miserable, and I wasn't going on a walk every day like I used to. And I thought, well, I'm not healthy, not taking a walk every day. So I'm going to look for another dog. So I got Kiaran. And the weird thing was, it was like some weird thing in a dark alleyway. I've never really talked about this. And these people had to move from their apartment, I think. I don't know the full story behind Kiaran, but what they told me was they had to move and they had to let another family have him. So got him, brought him home, and then he was crazy. He's sucks on his blankie. He has attachment issues. He's crazy about like his bone, like he can't get near his bone. So I think that he may have had some weird trauma as a puppy, and I don't know. I don't know his whole story. But all I know now is that he's last night he almost sniffed at me because I got too close to his bone, and I said his original name. Ozzy is his original name, and he heard that and he got this look on his face like, oh no, Mama's mad. Of course, I can never really be mad. And he dropped his bone and he got up in my face with the saddest puppy dog eyes, and his like ears were just down with sadness. And I said, it's okay. I forgive you. I know I shouldn't get near your bone, but can you just chill out a little bit? I'm not going to steal your bone. So it's all good. If you have, let me read these and we're going to get to Ellen here. Let me star that for you, Ellen, for your comment. Amy says, animals will come right up to you and won't leave you alone. They know I have a good spirit. Yes, I have that too. And I think that's really special, Amy, when they do that. They know, they definitely know. They can sense that I have a disability as well. There's a dog at work where I work at a theater, a dinner theater, and it's this big dog, and it must be someone's therapy dog. And I think there's something to that, Amy. You need to look into therapy dogs. So, whatever dog you get, you might get it through a therapy dog service, or when you get the dog, register it as an emotional support animal. Okay, I think that's important, and that'll help you. That'll help you get the dog too, and that'll help you that if you ever have to move, you can have it in an apartment and not have the worries of no pets allowed. Because when they're your therapy or your emotional support pet, you have the ability to keep them with you, and you can't get evicted or whatever. So, um, yeah, pets now. Okay, so this dog at work, I go in and he lights up when I walk in, and of course I light up when I see a dog. I'm like really happy. So yes, dogs know. I've third. Carl says I have 13 cats now, and 2 kitties are sick with colds. So I'm taking care of them. Yeah, hopefully they'll survive. I hope so too. 4 kitties already died. This happens. Yeah, I've seen. That's why I couldn't foster, because I would be an emotional wreck, and I'd be an emotional wreck when they got sick and if they died, and I'd be emotional wreck having to rehome them and let them go. It would be I would fail quite often. So I think it's a really strong person that can foster and take care of pets in that situation. So yeah, ducks would somehow always attack me. But they do that. They do that to people, though, even if they think they're adorable and wanted to pet them. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were nesting. That could be. They were nesting and you got too close to the eggs. That could be. But swans, it's funny. My daughter, when she was really little, she loved swans. And ducks do not attack you. That's good. I just think you got to give them their space. See, with me, I always have Kieran with me, and before that, I had Henry, so they would just fly off. So I never really got a sense of what they thought of me. It was just like they were scared of my dog, so they would run up. But what was I going to say? My daughter loves swans, and she was like, "Mama, swans!" And we'd watch swan videos on the computer, and then we'd go to the park, and they were mean. Swans are so nasty. They're like such mean, and also. Um, what are the birds? Peacocks. Peacocks can be kind of nasty and mean, but anyway, but they're beautiful. I love peacocks. Anyway, okay, so let's get to Ellen's question. Let's get to that. Let's see. If you have time, could you do a reading on whether I will move in 2025? So let's see, 2025. I get a August, September, October. So obviously not this year. It'll be next year. So let's see. First, I'll do the tarot. Will Ellen move in 2025? It could be close. It could be in 2026. So, that would be closer to 2026, August, September, October. So maybe you start to make the deal and then you actually move in 2026. So let's see. But let's ask 2025. Will Ellen move in 2025? Ellen move in 2025. God and angels, guardian angels, higher self, spirit guides and angels. Will Ellen move in 2025? Well, I see this is good. I see the Ace of Pentacles. You'll have the money. You have the opportunity to do it. And maybe it's by some sort of friendship or partnership. Like if you have a good realtor or you have a friend who's a realtor. So 10. That's 10 would be, there's some hard work involved. 10 of rods. But you see, I think in the original card, it's not in here. The original card there is a house in the distance. This is 10 October. So 10 months or the 10th month, October. Can I have the Sun card or the Ace of Swords if she's going to move in 2025? So I see 2026 again. So I think you're going to start to make the move. Magician, you have the power to do it. Magician. So it's going to be late 2025 into 2026 is what I see. And I will pull another card. Let's pull another one. Let's see. These purple ones. Yeah, let's do the purple ones. Let's see. For Ellen. Will Ellen move in 2025? Joy. Well, that's good. Joy. She's riding a dolphin. And it says, joy is the highest energy of all. It's the magical source that everything is possible. Everything is possible. Joy springs from appreciating the gifts within each moment. Joy allows you to attract and create your present and future movements at their highest possible levels. So good. And then you got change in direction. Let me take off my stupid glasses to read this one. The changes you're experiencing are divinely directed by your newborn willingness to open your heart to love and our guidance. You're protected now and in the future. That's like Amy. You're protected now and in the future. So follow your path to the happy outcomes. So there is a lot of that manifestation, like the magician, where you manifest the outcome. So change in direction and joy. Joy is the highest energy. Everything is possible. So keep those happy thoughts. And yeah, I think it's going to be October. That's a great message, Joy. You need to remember that too. Thank you, Amy. You're welcome. Yes, that makes sense. My lease is up March 1st. If I don't move before then, I will renew my house and wait until March 1st. Okay. Oh, yeah, 2026. So maybe that's what the 2026 is that that's your time limit. But I do get that October. So, and I wouldn't feel like I'm right about that, but I'm actually pretty good, knock on wood. I'm pretty good on dates, certain dates. I remember one of my first readings, I felt like that I really tuned into somebody. They asked me, they were pregnant, and they said, when were they going to have no, it was before they got pregnant. They asked me about would they have a baby? And it said it would be a Libra and the baby would be born in October. And it was a girl. and it happened. All of that happened. So I'm not always right, but I think I'm pretty good at dates for some weird reason. I don't know. But remember, things can change. So stay in there. You got to stay really positive about it. May you have, it'd take a few months to find a new place. Yeah. I could imagine looking in October. Yes. And moving in there. I agree. And let's say that we have our new administration in and things are getting better with interest rates and rent maybe will be a little better, hopefully. And people won't be competing as much, because that's been one of the issues is trying to find a place to live is really hard because there's so much competition. So I think it will be easier by that time. So that's good. You are welcome. You are very welcome. And that's for Amy too. All right. So Carl says, may you have a message from any loved ones who want to come forward. It's not too much to ask you to do that. Yes, loved ones to come forward. Let's see. I should have brought my other cards in, but I think, why didn't I bring those cards in? I'm going to, even though this isn't a past life thing, I'm going to do some of these past life cards here. Messages from, see, there's a baby. See, there's orphan. Now you said, Carl, that you've had your father died when you were young, right? You felt like an orphan. So maybe that's your dad. Water, something about water, a river, your dad. Do you ever go by the water or think of your dad, a lake, a river? And boats, little boats. And you think of him and he's there with you. You feel him near the water is what I get. And your guides, loved ones. So yeah, your father. Let's do the animal messengers. What would Carl's loved ones want to tell him on the other side? Shark. Trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. Snow leopard. Take some time out of your usual life and spend it in solitude. Well, the shark would be water, I guess. Yes, but and And also, you maybe at times feel like you were left to the sharks, is what I get. But your father is with you, and yeah, I see him with his hand on your shoulder. Take some time out of your usual life and spend it in solitude. Take some time to think about the memories that you had, because did you ever block out memories of your dad after everything happened? When I'm on my scooter, I feel him because I'm happy. Oh, that's good. That's beautiful. Yeah, take some time out to think about with him and get another message here to think about with your dad and what it was like when he was around. Try to remember some details of it. And there's one thing you can also do. You can say, "Can I feel you touch me on my," like for me, it would be the right shoulder. And sometimes you'll get little tingles or you get like a cold touch. So you did try to forget him. See, I think that's true. Bernardo. Manifestation. And if you get nervous, focus on service. The healing angel is with you. Wait, where's that manifestation? Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. And there, see, but this is interesting. Indigo. This kid is on his little scooter. I don't know if you can see. He's riding his little scooter. And next to it is a unicorn. The person you're inquiring about is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive, natural born leader. I think you're an indigo, Carl. I think you are. You're one of those early indigos. Yeah. Let's see what else I get. I should have brought those cards in with me. But scooter. He's always been with you. He's always been hanging out with you. God box. Write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you put into a special container called the God box. I think that's you writing a letter to your dad, honestly. I really think that's what it is. I don't know if you could see what's on there. It's like a girl, and she is offering up her messages to a dove, and the dove is going to take it up to heaven. Well, you can do that yourself. Write a letter to your dad. That's what I think you should do. Yeah, trauma tends to do that. It tends to erase things from us. And even trauma can, like anxiety and trauma, can literally mess up your brain. You could actually, I think I have brain loss from anxiety and panic that I've had in the last, and trauma in my life. And then we have a stupid virus that takes things too, but that's what I get. The biggest thing I saw was I saw the water and I saw little boats and I saw him next to you. And maybe that's just symbolic, but I do think that being next to water will help you feel him close to you. There's something about water that is a conduit to spirit. And also write that letter. Let yourself get that emotion out. And you can talk to him anytime. You don't need to have me. I think you have your own abilities where you can do that. You can talk to him and he'll hear you. I think he's always been with you, to be honest. So let's get that here. Never doubt. And dreams. Yeah, symbolic. I think the water's symbolic. Yeah. Like I had a dream after my mother died, and we were in a grocery store, and she was wearing this floral dress, like the kind of dress you're welcome, Carl. You're welcome. She was wearing the kind of dress that she would have sewed herself and wore around Easter. And I went up to her and I hugged her, and she said, "I had no idea you guys would miss me so much." So I think the dress was symbolic for that matriarchal energy that she had. She liked to garden, and of course, being a mother, let your flowers grow. She gave birth to us. I don't know, but it was a very clear dream. I've had about 3 clear dreams of my mother, and then that's it. That's it that I can remember. Well, anything else? Anybody want to talk about anything else or anything politics? I'm here to listen for a little bit longer. We could talk about politics or just life, and then I'll be about ready to go. I got to go do dishes. Oh boy. Oh, and I have to work tonight. I kind of feel like, first I was like, I don't know if I can handle work tonight with everything that's happened this week. Um, but I think it'll actually be a good distraction for me. However, I'm the only one on the schedule that they put for the entire weekend. And it's my weekend with my kids. And after what happened to my son, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this whole weekend being stuck in a dinner theater when my kids are at home and I don't get to see my kids. And you know what I mean? All right. Yes. I feel like I was Mary Queen of Scots. Now, is that true? I don't know. But the story behind that is my birthday is on April 21st. And someone was doing a reading for me. And a lot of times people ask, what's your birth? Because they want to know. They want to know what your sign, what your astrological alignment is. So I said, well, yeah, it's April 21st. And they said, well, you're the queen. And I was like, what? It's you're the queen. Of course, I'd known about Queen Elizabeth's birthday, that we had the same birthday. And and I and after she said that, I instantly got Mary Queen of Scots, and I'd never thought about Mary Queen of Scots before ever. So I looked her up, and we're like same height, same hair, long neck, hazel eyes, all that stuff. And I thought, well, and I saw like paintings of her, and I thought, I look a lot like her, and it made sense. And I remember things like in grade school, it was a Halloween in grade school, and the cafeteria, and they had a magician show up, and he had a guillotine, a literal guillotine. It scared the hell out of me, and I thought, I think that means something now. So, also, whatever. My dog, after Henry died, and ironically, Henry's name was Henry. I didn't name him Henry, but after Henry passed on, I said, okay, I want another dachshund, but if I'm Mary Queen of Scots, one of my next dogs will be a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, because that's what she had. I got Kieran thinking he was a dachshund, but he looks different. And I saw a video of a Dachshund, and I looked it up, and it looked just like Kieran, and it said dachshund mixed with a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. So, okay, so anyway, let me look at Amy. Amy said, I found out I had a past life as one of Henry VIII's cousins. I wouldn't doubt it. I feel like that's true. Maybe you and I can find out a bit more about that. What do you think? Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it at all. You're fascinated with England too. So I've always been fascinated with England. I know sounds like, because you talked about the Doctor Who, all of that. So I feel like you're probably the same way. And I know you wanted to move to England. So I think there's something to that where you kind of know, and then you always want to get put back to the place where you came from whence you came. And there's probably, Amy, I'm sure, and look at your name, Amy Warrior Princess. That's, I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't. You should watch all the things like I watch on Amazon Prime. I don't have Netflix. I don't have all that stuff, but I do Amazon Prime, and that's because it lets me have like BritBox and all that stuff. And I will watch all the Tudors, all the movies about Henry VIII. And Amy, don't you think that Trump is like Henry VIII? He has a lot of his energy, and like probably some of his syphilis related dementia and all that stuff. So, well, there's a trace of likeness, however many lifetimes. I feel is true. There was a psychic who said, no, I don't think that you look like your past lives. I think we do. I really feel like we do. Now, sometimes maybe we don't, but I have to say that I've seen people, I've figured out their past life, and then I've seen pictures of that person, and I'm like, yeah, they look exactly like the eyes. You could see it in the eyes. So I think that we do. And why is that? Because we're all just energy anyway. Like what we see is just particles of energy. If you put everything under a microscope, we're atoms, we're molecules. So everything is energy. So I totally believe that when we come back in each life, we are embodying this archetype of energy that we are from all our past lives. And the only reason why we wouldn't is because we're trying to have a really, really different life so we can learn something that we haven't learned before. Okay, so now you said it. Um, Amy, yes. Henry VIII, aside from him being Caligula earlier, yeah, and working with Hitler and all of that. Yeah, I totally feel like Trump was, at least, if he wasn't Henry VIII, he was aligned with him in that same way. Um, but he probably was. He probably was Henry VIII. I mean, he's a public figure. He's had all these women, very similar. He persecutes people. I don't see why he wouldn't have been him. It really makes sense, to be honest. I'd love to figure out which cars. I'd love to figure out which cars and I was. Do you mean cars, Amy? I think that maybe it's not. Maybe I read that wrong. But I will say this. Mike Nesmith from the Monkees, when he passed away and I channeled him, and I wasn't going to, he kept talking about his cars and how he was so happy to be reunited with his cars. And I was like, what? You hear about people being reunited with past loved ones. He kept talking about cars. So, cousin. Oh, okay, cousin. I knew it probably wasn't cars. Yeah, your cousin. Um, I'd love to figure out which cousin and I was. Yeah, you probably were. You were probably in the tutor. I keep getting the word tutors. So look up the royal tutors. Yeah, you'll see it. Like Carl said, you'll see it in the eyes. You really will. And isn't that fascinating? To keep coming back. I always say, I'm not coming back. I am not coming back. But I think it was our sweet friend. Oh, I can't remember her name right now. She does with her husband. She does those shows with her husband. I can't remember her name because my stupid brain and this week has been too stressful and I can't remember. But anyway, she said that in my next lifetime, John and I will be married. And I'm like, okay, that's the only reason I would come back, literally. Otherwise, no. Okay, you absolutely love the royal family. People can't figure out why. I was fascinated with Princess Diana, and I remember I stayed up. No, that wasn't her. I stayed up to watch Fergie's wedding to Prince Andrew, which was failed. The whole thing failed, but I stayed up to watch the wedding. And Princess Diana, I remember I drew this really intricate picture of her wedding dress in art class one time. So yeah, me too, Amy. Me too. Isn't that funny? See, we're aligned in that way, big time. Wouldn't it be crazy if we three have known each other in this life? I wouldn't be surprised. I talk about soul groups a lot and how we find our tribe. We're born in a family, which is part of it's karmic. Families are very karmic and they teach us lessons, right? You have soulmates, we have karmics. Karmics usually teach us lessons. Soulmates are almost like a comfort, where our pets and things like that come back, and people loves that bring us comfort in our life. Karmics teach us things. So a lot of times our family members are karmics. But the people that we find a lot that we fall in love with or have great friendships with, those would be our soul group. And so those are really from past lifetimes, a lot of it. I really feel that. Anyway, anything else? We'll give 5 more minutes and then I'll have to go here. I got to go do dishes and I'll have to go to work later. Don't want to go to work. What's a good example of soul karmics, past lives? What would be a good example of that? Well, probably like the Beatles. I talk about the Beatles all the time. And you know how it's strange that all 4 these fabulous musicians, it's like kismet, right? They all found each other. Well, in the context of past lives and soul groups, it makes sense that they would all find each other. And it just was at the right place, at the right time, in the right lifetime. And they all came together and it was just all like stardust came together. So, yeah. All right, my friends, anything else? Anything else before I go? Thanks for being here today. I'm really, really glad I got to come back. It's all you talk about, Amy. Yeah, I know. Literally. The Beatles and the Queen. The Beatles met the remember they met the Queen and they met Princess Anne. And yeah, with the Queen, when John said, for those of you in the cheaper seats, you'll just clap your hands, and the rest of you rattle your jewelry. Apparently, they said, no, you don't say that, but he was like, I'm going to say it. It was great. It was great. Yes, we do have to do a show about Doctor Who, and I talked about Jamie needs to be on that one too because he loves Doctor Who. So I think that because I know some but not enough, he would be. We really need to get him in on that one. So yeah. All right, my friends, you have a beautiful day. Take care. I'll keep saying prayers, and always, I believe in the power of prayer. I really do. So, okay, I'm going to sign off here. Much love. Take care. Have a beautiful night, and I will talk to you later. Have a great one. Bye, guys.